Have you ever walked into a room and felt like something was just off? Maybe someone smiles, but it doesn't quite reach their eyes. Or perhaps a friend's words seem supportive, but leave you feeling uneasy. You might be picking up on subtle signs of hidden resentment. In today's video, we're diving into the 7 subtle behaviors of people who secretly resent you and how to spot them before it's too late. Let's get into it. Backhanded compliments. First up, the infamous backhanded compliment. These sound nice on the surface, but have a sting hidden underneath. Think statements like, "Wow, you actually did a great job this time," or "You look good for your age." If you're hearing comments that leave you wondering whether to say thank you or be offended, it might be a sign of underlying resentment. Understanding backhanded compliments. Further, backhanded compliments are often delivered by individuals who want to maintain the appearance of friendliness while subtly expressing their negative feelings. The key is in the subtle wording. It's rarely an outright insult, but more of a veiled critique. How to handle it? Respond directly, but diplomatically. Say something like, "Thanks, but I'm curious about what you meant by that." This puts the person on notice that you're aware. Keep your composure. Resentful people often seek a reaction. Psychological insights. Psychologists suggest that resentment stems from feelings of inadequacy or jealousy. Backhanded compliments might be their way of regaining a sense of superiority. 2. Passive-aggressive jokes. Next, we have passive-aggressive jokes. You know the type. Those just kidding remarks that feel anything but funny. Resentful people often hide their true feelings under the guise of humor. If someone's jokes consistently make you the punchline, it's worth paying attention. Breaking down passive-aggressive humor. Passive-aggressive jokes often serve as a shield for resentful individuals. They can say hurtful things and retreat behind, "I was just joking," if confronted. Signs to look for. A pattern of jokes at your expense. The joke giver avoids similar humor directed at themselves. How to handle it? Set boundaries. Politely but firmly let them know when a joke crosses the line. Don't laugh if it genuinely makes you uncomfortable. Psychological insights. Studies indicate that passive aggression often arises from a person's inability to express their emotions openly. Humor becomes a socially acceptable outlet. Navigating social dynamics. Imagine a coworker repeatedly making comments during meetings like, "Oh, you're the expert now, huh? Just kidding." By calmly addressing the behavior and refusing to engage with the joke, you subtly reinforce that such comments aren't acceptable. 3. Excluding you from conversations. Ever notice someone conveniently forgetting to include you in conversations or group plans? This exclusion can be subtle but intentional, a way of signaling resentment without saying it outright. Understanding. Exclusion. Exclusion doesn't always mean overt ostracism. Sometimes it's as simple as ignoring your input during conversations. Why it happens? The person may feel threatened by your presence or ideas. They may be harboring unresolved conflicts. How to handle it? Politely interject when appropriate. Address the behavior privately if it becomes a pattern. Psychological insights. Exclusion can be a power move designed to make someone feel inferior. Recognizing it is the first step toward reclaiming your space. Building inclusive relationships. If you're consistently excluded in social settings, take proactive steps to foster one-on-one connections with others in the group. Sometimes resentment fades when individual relationships are strengthened. 4. Overemphasizing your flaws. A resentful person might nitpick your mistakes or flaws, even when they're minor or irrelevant. If someone keeps pointing out what you're doing wrong without offering constructive feedback, they may be harboring resentment. The psychology of nitpicking. When someone focuses excessively on your flaws, it's often a projection of their insecurities. Signs to look for: frequent negative feedback without praise, criticism that lacks constructive advice. How to handle it: thank them for their feedback, but ask for specifics. Maintain confidence in your abilities. Psychological insights: people who nitpick may be dissatisfied with themselves and use criticism as a way to deflect attention from their own shortcomings. Transforming negative feedback: try turning nitpicking into a constructive conversation by asking questions like, "How would you approach this differently?" This shifts the dynamic and may reveal whether their critique is valid or just resentment-driven. 5. Sudden change in tone. Ever had a conversation where the vibe shifts dramatically? Maybe they're warm and friendly one moment, then cold and distant the next. Sudden tone changes can be a sign that someone is struggling to mask their true feelings toward you. The dynamics of tone shifts. Tone changes can indicate internal conflict or discomfort. Signs to look for: abrupt shifts in conversation, body language becoming closed off. How to handle it: ask open-ended questions to understand their mood. Maintain a calm demeanor. Psychological insights: tone shifts can reveal unresolved feelings that a person is unwilling to express directly. Reading between the lines. If someone consistently shifts their tone around you, consider whether external factors are influencing their mood. Sometimes resentment isn't personal, but rather circumstantial. 6. Resisting your success. When someone resents you, your wins might feel like losses to them. They might downplay your achievements or avoid celebrating your successes. Pay attention to those who can't bring themselves to be happy for you. Understanding resistance to success. Resentment can manifest as envy when you achieve something significant. Signs to look for: lack of acknowledgement for your accomplishments, negative remarks about your success. How to handle it: acknowledge your achievements confidently. Limit discussions about your success with those who react poorly. Psychological insights: people who resist celebrating others' success often feel inadequate or insecure. Celebrating with the right people. Find those who genuinely uplift and support you. Surrounding yourself with positive influences can diminish the impact of resentment. 7. Gossiping about you. Finally, gossip. When someone resents you but doesn't confront you directly, they might vent their feelings by talking behind your back. If you hear that someone is spreading rumors or speaking negatively about you, it could be a sign of hidden resentment. The impact of gossip. Gossip can damage reputations and relationships. Signs to look for: hearing negative remarks from third parties, noticing people avoiding you without explanation. How to handle it: confront the gossiper calmly if appropriate. Focus on maintaining integrity. Psychological insights: gossip often stems from unresolved jealousy or bitterness. Maintaining integrity. When faced with gossip, take the high road. Actions speak louder than words, and consistently demonstrating integrity will often neutralize false narratives.